What if I told you that the very food keeping us alive is also, quite literally, killing us? Think about the last time you sat down for a bowl of jollof rice, or maybe some pounded yam with a side of fresh spinach. You trust that plate. You trust the farmer who grew it. But there's a shadow over our kitchens that nobody wants to talk about. In 2024, the value of Kenya's fresh vegetable exports didn't just drop, it plummeted by over 50%. Why? Because European ports literally sent our food back, calling it poison. Here's the part that will make your blood boil. The same chemicals that the EU bans for being too toxic for their own soil are being shipped in record-breaking quantities, 122,000 tons a year, straight to our ports in Lagos, Accra, and Mombasa. It's a toxic double standard. We are eating what they won't even touch, and our farmers are becoming addicted to a system that's destroying their health and our land. How did we get to a point where a healthy meal is actually a gamble with our lives? I want you to imagine a farmer named Ernest. He's a vegetable farmer in the eastern region of Ghana. Ernest is a hard worker, the kind of man who wants the best for his children. But Ernest has a secret. He told investigators recently that he can't sleep at night. After a day of spraying his cabbage, his skin itches like it's on fire. His head drops. He can't breathe. And yet, he keeps spraying. He feels he has to. Think about it this way, our farmers are in an abusive relationship with big chemical companies. They've been told that without these medicines, which is what many of our people call pesticides, they won't have a harvest. They've been promised a shortcut to wealth, but they've ended up on a treadmill they can't get off. Recent data from 2025 shows that in parts of Ghana, nearly 83% of the food samples tested contain pesticide residues. That's not a typo. More than 8 out of every 10 plates of food are carrying chemicals like chlorpyrifos, a neurotoxin linked to brain damage in children, and glyphosate. Here's the kicker, we aren't just using these chemicals, we're misusing them because the system is designed to fail us. I've seen reports of traders putting pressure on farmers to harvest cabbage just 24 hours after spraying. 24 hours. These chemicals are supposed to sit for weeks before the food is safe to touch, let alone eat. But the market doesn't wait. The money doesn't wait. We've traded our long-term health for a short-term yield, and the cost is starting to show up in our hospitals. In some West African countries, up to 10% of all hospital outpatient cases now stem from food poisoning. We aren't just talking about a runny stomach. We are talking about kidney failure, respiratory disorders, and cancers that are appearing in people far too young. But there's a deeper, more invisible tragedy happening under our feet. Every time a farmer sprays to kill a weed or a bug, they aren't just killing the enemy. They are killing the soil. Think of the soil like a human gut. It needs healthy bacteria to function. These heavy-duty pesticides act like a permanent, scorched-earth antibiotic. They kill everything. Over time, the soil becomes dead. It can't hold water. It can't provide nutrients. So, what does the farmer do? He buys more chemicals to make up for the dead soil. It's a cycle of dependency that is draining the pockets of our rural communities and handing that wealth over to foreign chemical giants. We are literally paying to destroy our own future. I'm not here to just point fingers and leave you feeling hopeless. That's not the goal. The goal is to see the truth so we can change it. The truth is, Africa is being used as a dumping ground for zombie chemicals, products like mancozeb that have been banned in Europe since 2020 because they harm fertility and unborn babies. Yet, German and Belgian companies are still shipping thousands of tons of this stuff to us every year. They know it's dangerous. They just don't think it's dangerous enough to stop making money from us. But here is where the hope comes in. Governments are finally waking up. In late 2025, Kenya announced a massive crackdown, withdrawing 77 highly hazardous pesticides from the market. They've started a new rule: if you can't sell it in your own country, the US, EU, or Australia, you can't sell it here. That's a start. That's a boundary. And then there are the farmers who are breaking the cycle. There are movements across the continent, from the organic networks in Uganda to the agroecology schools in Zimbabwe, where farmers are realizing that the old ways weren't just traditional, they were scientific. They are using neem oil, intercropping, and natural compost to bring their soil back to life. They are finding that when you stop poisoning the land starts feeding you again for free. We have a choice to make. Do we continue to be the world's unregulated garden, eating the scraps and the toxins that others have rejected? Or do we demand a food system that values an African life as much as any other? The next time you're at the market, look at those perfectly shiny, oversized tomatoes. Ask yourself, what did it take to make them look that way? And more importantly, what is it going to take for us to demand something better?